Castor is a film podcast filled with dubious opinions, plot spoilers, and a healthy sprinkling of bad language. Thanks for listening.
Take a much loved movie and stir in a different cast. Add a hint of nonsense for a flavor that will last. Garnish it with fun, film facts and food for the soul. It's a tasty, yummy, silly, funny movie casserole. Casserole.
Hello and welcome to Castor. My name is Jim, and each episode myself and my two co-hosts Sam and Nick review one of cinema's much loved or unloved films with the aim of also serving you up a delicious recasting. But before we can get into that, don't forget you can follow and subscribe to Castor over on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, or wherever it is that you get your podcasts from. And of course, don't forget to leave us those all-important 5-star reviews. And should you wish to support the podcast, you can do so now via Patreon. So just head on over to patreon.com/castorolpodcast. And for the small fee of $1, you can leave us a little tip each month for serving you up 2 delicious episodes. And should you wish to represent the podcast, you can now do so with a number of wonderful designs, just like myself. Head on over to tpublic.com and just search for Castor, and you too can also look this good.
For God's sake. So for everyone that obviously can't see this, James has ripped open. He's come in a Velcro suit tonight.
I'm glad he's wearing something underneath.
And tattooed to his bare skin are one of our t-shirt designs.
I mean, it's not that tight.
Oh, that's good.
As I said,
it's great.
I'm not alone, and you've already heard their voices, so let's introduce them. He is the succulent chicken wing. It's Sam.
I thought I was coming in for some wing action there.
Yeah,
being the bony one.
You're probably a tit. The breast, that's what they call it.
He is the luscious breading smothered all over. It's Nick.
The breading?
The breading.
The breading.
Breading. Because
breading.
a breaded chicken wing.
Breading, yeah, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up and introduce
the
yourself.
breading.
You're the breading.
Just shut up and introduce yourself. Say hello.
Oh, that could be a Korean horror film, couldn't it?
Yeah.
The breading.
Yeah.
The breading.
Hello.
And I am the spicy hot sauce slathered all over because these two really ain't ready for me.
You definitely are.
My name is Jim. We are Castor. Let's recast a film.
He's a wing roulette if there ever was one.
Oh,
I
man,
certainly am.
He's a Scoville rating of 8 million.
Do you know what? I'm really chuffed with that t-shirt.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Tonight is the night that we should probably get a photo of Jim in all his glory.
In all his glory.
And you can go and post that.
Oh, I mean, if I'd known there was going to be a photo, I wouldn't have worn my joggers.
We'll
do waist up.
Yeah.
That's what everyone says. We only want to see you waist up.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that you've made the effort to wear some kind of trousers today.
Yeah.
But we don't need to get that.
When he ripped off his top clothes, we were like, is it just going to be a Borat-style mankini?
I mean, they are in the works. Castor Mankinis.
Casserole mankinis, God, that'd be good.
That's Patreon, right? Casserole mankinis that Jim has been worn consistently for a full week and then post them.
Well, whilst doing my current job where I'm sweating profusely. Whoa.
So
that's got to be $50 a month, hasn't it?
I can actually reveal an exclusive, which is exclusive to you guys. You don't even know this yet.
Oh.
I am currently working on specific designs for the three of us.
Get out.
When we are, so they might be t-shirts, they might be like posters or just fun images for social, but basically I've taken each of us and the others are on there as well, but like we are in settings of some of our favourite films, and the others are looking suitably excited or miserable.
Amazing.
What an exclusive from Sam. So look out for them, because no doubt we will get them posted up on our socials at some point.
Yeah,
nice.
That could be quite fun. I mean, I bet you can guess the film that I'm forcing you to be in as part of mine. All I'm saying is, guys,
am I harvesting grain?
All I'm saying is, have you ever wanted to see Jim as a cave troll?
Just look at my Facebook, I guess.
Yeah, I had to do very little actually.
Well, anyway, we all sound pretty chipper, considering you two are both getting over the cold, the lurgy, whatever you want to call it. You both sound in good spirits. We've been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I feel like there's something I need to address.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Just harking back to our previous episode, Alien, I just feel like maybe I need to revisit my recasting of Sigourney Weaver's character Ripley as
I would.
Maggie Smith.
I would.
Now, what I feel like I may have done was, in my head, I'd figured out like all the reasons that it was funny and refreshing and that kind of thing. But I feel like maybe what I did on the episode was say it and then kind of thinking it was some kind of mic drop moment. Didn't elaborate any further. So, just very briefly.
Really? You're still trying to justify it?
You're still justifying Maggie Smith.
But what I felt like I didn't explain was like...
You don't need to.
The humour of like older Maggie Smith just being like really fed up at the whole situation. Like, I know, bad back, sort of having to... And I feel like that's another thing you don't often see in action films, is the leading protagonist is someone maybe of, more veteran years. And you know what, right? It's not all about physicality and running away. Sometimes...
But this
using
film is...
wisdom. Yeah, but maybe Ripley could have been like the 80-year-old...
is this what I sounded like when I was defending Rebel Moon?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is this how I sounded?
Yeah.
God, no wonder you hated me that episode.
Can I just say, right, if it was Maggie Smith, I wonder maybe, Jim, whether you would have felt a little bit more sympathy towards the relationship with the cat. Just throwing it out there as well.
No,
I made my opinions clear on the cat.
I don't think the company would have like an 87-year-old navigator or whatever she was like.
It's the future. People probably live till they're like 200.
Right,
All the rest
fine,
of the crew may as well be like in their teens.
Yeah.
They need an adult present.
I mean, to be
they
fair,
had
Maggie
plenty
Smith,
of adult presents. They were all adults.
I feel like that would definitely brought back the cocoon scene. Instead of face hugger, it's just a face sagger. The alien would have like come out of her and been like, "Oh my god!"
I just feel like in every scene.
Anybody
you've
want
been,
a cup of
just-
tea and do
just
some
fed
knitting?
up
Like
about
an old
the situation.
alien, yeah. Like the alien comes out ancient.
Right.
The chest
They're
burster,
battling
the
each other.
chest burster would have come out coughing.
Yeah, just dust.
And then it's a battle of wits more than anything else.
Wits.
Isn't it?
Wits?
It's
Is it wits, really?
Yeah.
Or is it just an alien preying on a frail old lady?
I like Maggie Smith, but like
Right,
So whether that is
before
in any way-
saved it.
Okay.
Sam, have you been watching anything this week?
Yeah, do you know what?
Since we've last recorded.
I have. I've watched some
move on from Maggie
interesting stuff, actually. I'm not going to talk loads about it because they're both series. But something that Liz and I found and then absolutely binge watched was a series called Ludwig, which stars David Mitchell from
Peep Show?
From Peep Show, from various things. Mitchell
very
and Webb look.
British
And
comedy,
basically,
yeah.
it's kind of like a new kind of Sherlock Holmes-esque.
Okay.
He plays like sort of a recluse, and he ends up solving crimes, but in like a really sort of roundabout way. He actually is like a puzzle designer for like newspapers and puzzle books and things.
I think I've heard of this.
It's really
Yeah.
it's super good. It's just all the characters are interesting, and it's one of those ones where they sort of sometimes they show you who did it beforehand, and it's kind of like Columbo, and sometimes you're kind of working out who did it, but it's really good.
Is it like a sort of Jonathan Creek for
Yeah.
the 2024?
It's like that's a really good one, actually. It's basically new Jonathan Creek, which is
I loved
it's brilliant. I love Jonathan.
I mean, I loved it. There were times where I was like, where's this going?
Yeah, this is good though, because he doesn't do it all himself. He kind of does, but needs these like police officers who all become like good characters. So yeah,
Nice.
I would highly recommend that. And then the other thing we've literally just started is Disclaimer, which is the new Alfonso Cuarón like thing on, I believe it's on Apple TV, and it stars Kate Blanchett, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Kevin Kline. And
That's an interesting combination.
yeah. I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen is like not anything like you've seen him before.
Is he?
Right.
He's a good actor.
Is it a serious show?
It's a serious show. Kate Blanchett plays like this sort of documentarist. She's very successful, and then something that happened in her past life comes back. And Kevin Kline is brilliant. I've only seen one episode, but he is just fantastic. It's heartbreaking performance, and just everything about the show is brilliant. So I couldn't recommend enough getting into both those shows.
Okay. Where's Ludwig? Is that?
I think Ludwig is our BBC or ITVX.
Oh, okay,
or
okay,
it's
cool.
one of those sort of streaming shows.
Nice.
So probably not readily available for any of our overseas listeners.
No, but they'll find it somewhere. I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Nick,
all
yourself?
the more reason to move over here and get some lovely iPlayer action.
Yeah, at the moment we're famously really up on people moving to this country. So
Yeah, we're well up
go
on it.
for it.
We're
Go
all for it.
Yeah, really good vibes.
Yeah, really good vibe.
What about yourself, Nick? Anything?
Mainly, similar to a couple of episodes before, more like really sad Netflix documentaries. Ooh. Like true crime ones, and some of them are like super interesting. And there's some that are just like, so I'm not going to harp on, but yeah, a couple of...
Just a couple of real depressing, like, I lost my child in a paper shredder, and like...
Just
just
the kind of vibe we go for on this show.
Yeah, just really bringing it down.
Real
Thanks, breading.
One was like, are you... Hey, I'd much rather talk about the breading. It was like my wife... It was called My Wife, My Monster, My Wife, My...
Oh, I saw that.
You watched that? My God.
That was awful.
Like, just a horrendous domestic abuse case
Yeah.
in England.
So what was it called?
My Wife, My Monster, or something, or My
I think
Wife,
it's My
the
Wife,
Monster.
My Abuser.
Yeah,
maybe.
something.
I think I've either seen a one-off about it, or there's like already some of it is.
Yeah, but like,
Or
holy
yeah.
fuck.
I was fine about all of it until you see him.
Is it the
being
one that
abused.
it's the UK one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what story you're on about. Yeah.
You see him getting like abused in front of the kids,
Yeah,
and
it's
him trying to
horrible.
defend the kids,
Getting
and then
just smacked about,
Yeah.
just
Oh.
crazy,
horrible
crazy
imagery.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
she's just mental.
fuck yeah, but so it's- yeah, more of that kind of stuff.
I mean, proper mental, not Jim's rating of films mental.
Well,
I mean, proper mental.
That's one for discussion.
Talking of mental things, Jim.
Wow. So I've actually found time to watch a couple of films.
Oh,
A sequel and a threequel, as it were,
a threequel.
because I've watched Aliens and Alien 3.
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't want to? I thought maybe, particularly Aliens, was
Yeah.
one that we should do for.
Well, I didn't know how
Because-
long that was going to take.
Okay.
That's true, because I mean, we're not
So,
picking it. We
I
haven't
like,
done.
I like his commitment to. I'm going to bloody watch these in order.
Yeah, I would like.
It's my first time watching them, so why would I go in a random order?
It's true.
That's true. What I want to know is, have you had a chance to watch Wicked yet?
No, because it only came out yesterday.
Yeah, but my wife and daughter watched it today.
With me and the wife have plans to watch it not this Friday, but Friday after.
Oh,
Because, yeah.
so I
did they
haven't
love
seen,
it?
They loved it. Like they have not stopped
Yeah,
talking
so
about
it's
it.
on the list. We're watching. We are watching Moana 2 this coming Friday with
yeah.
our son, and then the following Friday we plan on watching Wicked.
Moana 2 looks good. There's a lot of good stuff coming out.
So yeah. So,
Obviously, the new animated Lord of the Rings.
yeah, don't
Lord of the
worry
Rohirrim.
about that. Not bothered by that.
Moving on.
Moving on. So yeah, so we are here to obviously cast a role, a film. What film is that? I hear you ask.
Big film.
Well, those that remember from our last episode and paid attention would know we are doing Apocalypse Now.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my only friend. The end of our elaborate plans. The end.
Nick, do you want to give us a summary of this film? And any little wait now, any little tidbits you may have for this film, if any.
Sure. So
Okay.
we'll come on. I think we'll chat about the film in a bit, and because there's loads of interesting
me.
lore and stuff. There was a whole separate documentary about the making of this film. But the film itself, so Apocalypse Now, is loosely inspired by a Joseph Conrad novella called Heart of Darkness, from like the previous century. Apocalypse Now is a 1979 Vietnam War film. Some call it an action film, which maybe it's debatable. We'll come on to that. It's directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Wait, you said two different
It's
things.
Capella.
No, it's Coppola.
I'm going
Francis Ford Coppola.
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 Francis Ford
Cobbler.
What a load of old Coppolas.
It's starring Martin Sheen as Captain Benjamin Willard, a U.S. Army veteran, and he's dispatched on a secret mission to find and assassinate rogue special forces officer, Colonel Kurtz, who was famously or infamously played by Marlon Brando.
Oh, Brando.
Accompanied by the crew of a Navy patrol boat, Willard journeys up the Nyung River towards Kurtz's outpost in Cambodia, encountering various allies, threats, hazards along the way, including enemy ambushes, man-eating tigers, and a helicopter air assault unit led by the surfing-obsessed and somewhat unhinged Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore. Great character.
Great name.
Great name. And yeah, throughout the journey of this film, a lot of it is really led by narration. So I guess, be interesting to see what we'll think about this, because we all had issues around the narration with Casino that we watched. And a lot of this film is set around Sheen's narration as Captain Willard. As he battles his own demons, he reflects on the war, and he seeks to understand this near-mythical figure of Colonel Kurtz ahead of their climactic encounter.
What a summary. Sam, what do you think of this film?
Well, I've got to be brief, haven't I? It's really difficult. I'll keep it brief now, because I'm sure we'll talk about it.
So me and Sam have been told off.
Yeah.
Well,
very difficult
it's only because every episode I say, what are your brief thoughts? And then 15-20 minutes later, I might finally get to say my brief thoughts.
So just starting the timer now, Sam. Go.
Okay, my brief thoughts are, it's probably one of the only films I can really think of that feels like it assaults all your senses. Like, it feels like you can feel the heat of the jungle, that you can smell the smells, and like it really drew me in. And I actually think it does a really good depiction of sort of slightly slowly going insane. And you do start off with the kind of a bit of a oorah kind of vibe, and that almost at the start you can feel like war can be slightly heroic, and by the end you just realize how futile and awful it is that a species can do that to themselves. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. There were some bits that I had forgotten, some iconic moments that were better than I remembered, and I think as a filmmaker or a fan of films, it's definitely a filmmaker's film. Yeah.
Happy with that, Jim?
No. No.
Too brief? Not brief enough?
No, I thought I was about your opinion. Yes, brief's fine. No, this is the worst film we've watched.
Jeez.
Wow.
And I say
Stay
that
tuned, guys. This is going to be a good episode.
and I say that because but obviously I've got no hatred towards it, and I've got no love towards it. I've got nothing towards this film. At least with Jaws,
How can you feel nothing about this?
Because it's so drab and boring and just meh. I honestly, it was like 3-4 years later, Rambo got made, and I think Stallone went, see that film, do that, but not shit. Do that, but not boring.
Also not set entirely in Vietnam and
But
Cambodia.
it's a similar kind of premise. He's out on his own, he's searching, he's fighting. It's
Not in any ways. It's America.
Yes, it is.
All right, hang on. This is a brief thing. Let's not interrupt.
But-
Let's.
It's just rubbish. And bar one iconic scene. Well, I don't even know if it's iconic. You keep saying the word iconic. It's fuck all iconic. One scene that kind of gave me goosebumps, and then one iconic line which was delivered in a scene that felt just there.
Right. What was
the
the line?
scene and what's the line?
The smell of napalm in the morning.
Sure.
Right.
That's meant like the iconic line, and it's just there in the scene.
But most lines are just there.
But it didn't feel earned.
Wow.
It didn't feel like an iconic line in an iconic scene.
It's iconic because it's somebody just saying something.
Yeah, but it didn't feel it in that scene. That scene was just a scene.
Yeah, but it would have felt really false if it had sounded like an iconic line.
No.
It's iconic because it's such a good line.
But the scene also didn't feel iconic.
What was the scene that did then? You said there was one scene.
There was one scene that gave me goosebumps, and that's when the choppers are coming over, and you got the
Flight of the Valkyries.
That's it.
So
Play it.
the beginning of that whole sequence, really, and then the line you're talking about is kind of near the
that's
near
at
the end of it.
And yeah,
What's interesting is I had a completely different take.
Everything
that
else was-
line from me was delivered much better than I remember it, because I remember everyone being like, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning. It smells like victory. Love the smell of napalm." And it's actually delivered so much better with this kind of like, "I love the smell. It smells like, like victory. Like it's so much better than people's crass retelling of it. It feels, the story around it and how he came up over this hill and just the whole thing was on fire or like burnt out and there was nothing left in ash and this.
What's the war film with Robin Williams as the DJ?
Good Morning Vietnam.
Well, I think I'd mixed up at some point because I haven't watched this film for ages.
No,
I mean,
very
I am
different.
also going to have to caveat that I think I have probably watched the worst version of this film.
What
Because
version did
this
you
film
watch?
has
dubbed in Indian?
this film has the audacity to have 5 versions.
Oh my god.
5. I looked at because I was convinced because Nick was saying it's like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
The one I watched was 2 hours 25. I was like, I'm convinced I'm watching the wrong film. Googled it. There's 5 or 6 versions of this film. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
So
they have the
Williams the same
audacity.
one.
They have the audacity to release 5 or 6 versions.
I'm sorry. Rebel Moon.
Yeah, brilliant films.
I dare say you'd watched. Consider yourself lucky because I think for your opinion of the film, you've watched the best version you could have watched.
Because in our version there was a lot of sort of French colonist stuff that didn't need to be there.
Yeah, you could see why it was cut.
You got some boobs, but other than that,
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, just a nothing
okay.
film.
So I think we've got a hint as to the number of meatballs you're going to give it.
Just nothing film that I felt nothing for.
The breading. What do you say?
You're
Well,
really
okay.
fixated on the breading, aren't you?
The breading.
I'm fascinated to dig into your thoughts and opinion a bit more, Jim. Probably the same as you, Sam. So the version that I watched, and it was a long, long time ago that I must have watched the theatrical standard version. The version I watched was like the director's or full final cut, which is a good like half an hour, 40 minutes longer.
Yeah.
Loads of extra footage, which I didn't know other than the whole French colony scene, which was additional, which was not. And I do feel like probably that unnecessarily bulked out the film and the experience for me because aside from what I felt like was unnecessary bloating, I feel like there is a masterpiece of a film in there, and that is taken into account. Like we'll come on to, like this film, from what I gather, was like absolutely torturous to create and to get over the line.
That's the thing. So like one of the things like a filmmaker's film, like they were in a fucking jungle. And it looks beautiful. Yeah. It looks brilliant. They've got these cinematic shots. They've got this like these vistas, these amazing scenes, these amazing lines, these set pieces in a fucking jungle.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, I had a really, really good.
Then I need to find these filmmakers and give them a slap. Because this film.
Well, you're not going to find them if you look up Capella.
This film came out the same year as Alien, and the contrast in just the imagery is just so stark.
Well, yeah,
like you've got. Obviously, I know they're two very. Before you fucking, obviously, look, I know they're two very different films, but you've got
no fucking spaceships in the jungle.
Will you shut up and let me have your point?
One is set on a spaceship.
What
The imagery is so different.
No, what I'm trying to say is you've got one that uses its imagery really grotesquely beautiful, and another one who's trying to be very grotesque, and it's just failing on every front.
Wow.
It just looks cheap. Every shot looks cheap.
You're
That's
kidding.
really interesting because I actually think the
They
scene
get
at the end,
every shot on that going down the river. It just looks.
but
naff.
that like, I would say that at the end, when he gets the severed head put in his lap, that looks super real.
It does. I was
that
that
has not dated. That looks like a fucking severed head.
Yeah.
And it looks like the actor.
Yeah, but that's not on the. That's on the props, not the filmmaker. That's on the props for making a fucking good severed head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could have made better jungles, couldn't they? No, let the side down on the jungle.
The boat didn't even look like a fucking boat. Where was the sail?
Let me ask you a question, guys. There's a lot of consideration around what genre of film Apocalypse Now is. I just been really interested to put it to you. I'll put it to you first, Sam. What genre of film do you think this is? And I'm not saying like what is it? What should it be classified as? What was it classified as? What do you interpret it as?
I think of this as a psychological thriller. For me, it has so many of the same kind of vibes as almost like a Seven. You know, it's got that very noir-esque voiceover. It's more about the sort of the descent into madness. It's more about, you know, the horrors of man. It's not in any way a war film, really. It's not. You think about Saving Private Ryan, which still shows you the horror of war, and it still shows you, but that's about like people's courage in the face of evil, and it's about overcoming you. This is about like the hopelessness of I guess the hopelessness of war. It would be. I'm not trying to belittle anything by saying it's not a war film, but to me, it's more about the slow decline of sanity, which is why I actually thought the longer version was good, and I actually thought that this being a longer, more bloated film helped with understanding, like, you know, because sometimes you see these films and they're all like, hoorah, we get on the boat, we're gonna go, and then, like, you know, 60 minutes later they're like, how's you gonna shoot my own mother in the face? And you're like, well, what's happened to like make you go from like really disciplined soldier to mental patient? And in this film you were like, I'm surprised you're not all fucking mental and have put a shotgun in your mouth, because like you feel their like journey. So I think the length was actually a good thing.
Interesting. What about you, Jim?
Well, I'd like to know what journey Sam's watched, because all I saw was a lot of people having a good time on a boat.
But it changes so quickly. Like,
No,
they
it
are
doesn't.
having a good time at the
All
start.
they ever are is having a good time on the boat. The only one that ever seems to focus on anything is Martin Sheen's character. And that's just him with his really drab, drawn-out dialogue. He's the only one that seems to kind of look remotely like he's progressing. But, you know, this is
That's so interesting, because he doesn't progress from
This
me
is just
until the end.
It's just a shit war film.
I agree. He's kind of...
He's the consistent.
I feel like he's consistently unhinged because he's been there. This is like his third or fourth
Well, he's like
tour or
detached,
something.
isn't he? But
Yeah, right. Obviously, like PTSD and all that. So their interpretation of this film. So I agree with you, Sam, that this is a psychological thriller, borderline a horror film in some aspects, through the lens of like a Vietnam War action film. There's elements of kind of satirical comedy in it as well. It's poking fun at just the pure insanity of the whole conflict. But there are theories about this film. Like, some people feel like maybe it could be, the whole thing could be Willard's LSD trip or sort of hallucination. Some people sort of theorize that the whole thing could be his kind of purgatory. So at the very end, when the mission's complete, it's almost like he finds himself back in the hotel room waiting on a call. And it's like just over and over again, that sort of hell.
it's
like,
almost got that Dante's Inferno-esque kind of rings of hell.
Yeah, it's a really good analogy, actually. Like, he's delving closer and closer to hell, and there's this massive kind of, you know, he's there to meet the devil ultimately in Kurtz. It's interesting that we've all got slightly different interpretations. Jim, was it because, so famously in previous episodes, part of what's put you off some films was the whole American militaristic hurrah. Do you think any of that has coloured your opinion?
No,
Because you get that they're saying America's
the whole point here is focused on that. That was my issue with Independence Day, is it didn't need to, because they made a conscious decision to introduce other nations.
You're aware that Vietnam War needs to be focused on America.
Yes.
There's no like Indian generals saving the day.
Yes. But that is why I'm not
French
like
colonel.
That's why I'm not like, oh, fucking hoorah now, because I know the whole point of the Vietnam War is it's America and Vietnam, and America getting their asses absolutely whooped.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it made me, because I must admit, Vietnam conflict is one thing I didn't know a massive amount about, other than like broadly who was involved. But I was fascinated to learn about like just how depressingly it was essentially like a part of the Cold War. It was a proxy war between communist states and allied states and stuff, particularly America. Like, and I think it Sorry, are you all right? Okay. Yeah, and I think in that regard, like, it's an interesting analogy of the horrors of war and the pointlessness for the people truly involved at the front line in those kind of conflicts. And yeah, it is like this descent into hell. Like, the more they go in, the more everyone has just kind of become unhinged from reality.
And I think this film is the first. It's the first kind of film, really, that I can think of. The first kind of war film or film about war you want to talk about, where you really not at any point you don't want to be like, I'll be in that. You know, like in other films, like I keep saying, like Saving Private Ryan. That scene where they're storming the beaches, it's terrible. It's like, it's horrific. But your part of you's like, oh, like I could be in that company with Tom Hanks. That'd be kind of cool. They're all like friends. They're on a mission. They're doing something.
It stirs that kind of heroic.
Yeah, they're gonna do something. They're fighting, evil. They're stopping all this. In this, you're just like, imagine going through all that and knowing that, or not knowing why you're doing it. Not knowing why your friends are dying, not knowing why you're killing those kids in the trees, like not knowing really why you're even there. Like it's kind of the only conflict where there is just no point to it at all.
I agree with that. Yeah. It was really. I think it was really hard for a lot of people, and that's why.
Yeah, but the only reason they don't know why they're doing and why they're going is because they don't know why they're escorting.
I'm talking about the whole of the American forces in Vietnam. They are like it was like, this is not the film thing. This is the thing. Right, okay. Like they were like.
I mean, why didn't care about history class, so I didn't.
Okay. I don't think we did Vietnam in our one, but
unfortunately, it was part of the syllabus. You had to do World War II and what.
I did A-level history, so
I hated it. Hated every fucking class.
So just going back to that, you didn't feel like any of the other characters, Jim, like had any kind of progression or arc or anything.
Did you fucking realise it was Lawrence Fishburne?
He looks so different.
Fuck me.
So good.
I had to Google, and I was like, oh, okay.
He looks totally different.
I think that's the best role.
How young was he in that film?
Like, I think he was like 17.
But I did. They all just like they were having a party on that boat.
But that's the thing, they weren't. They were so individual.
Yeah, but then when it got to them opening fire, they were more than happy to open fire. They were trigger happy, if anything.
Yeah, but I mean.
So did you get the scene in the version you watched where the captain of the boat decides that they are going to board that fishing boat with the family on, the Vietnamese or Cambodian family? They board the boat, and it all gets like really. They're just so nervous. The boat patrol crew is so nervous that it's going to kick off. Basically, someone fires and they kill the whole family.
Vaguely familiar. Okay. I don't know how much.
Did you see this film? How long ago did you see this film?
Last weekend.
Did you acknowledge the part? It's like, because there's a part where that Lance, who's this well-regarded surfer back home, he has a really big arc where basically he loses his mind. Like towards the end of the film, he's more and more kind of covered in camo paint. He's probably like LSD. Tripping balls. Yeah, like and he just completely unhinges from reality to the point where at the end, when they arrive at Curtis's outpost, he kind of
he's one of them.
It's just one of like the tribes people and stuff. Like, did you see that arc where he just loses his mind?
I just didn't care for them.
Okay.
I told this is just a nothing film.
This is really weird because like not as much, but I think they do as good a job like telling these characters and giving them like agency and you caring about them as the crew in Alien. Like each of the characters on the boat are different and unique, but they feel like a crew. You feel like they care about each other. Like at one point, I can't remember Lawrence Fishburne's character's name. Was it like Radio or something like that? He is like literally going mental, like playing this music while like Chef, the engineer one, is like trying to like concentrate.
Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean. So Mr. Clean is like irritating the fuck out of Chef. And you can just see he's just like, just shut the fuck up. Like, but he's not raising to it. He's not like, because any other one you'd have them being like, will you please stop that? But this kid's probably done that every day for like a year or two. Like they have been a unit. And so little things like that, when then they get killed and they care and they're sad about it, you believe it. It doesn't just feel like a bunch of actors on a boat. It feels like people that have been together through hell for months and months, if not years, and are now starting to lose each other.
And kind of Sheen's character throughout all that, you're right, is the most detached from all of it because he's been there and he's done that and he's already kind of particularly unhinged and just focused on his mission. Yeah. Jim could not give a fuck.
I really couldn't. I feel like we've seen two very different films because all I've seen is essentially a party bus.
So the version that you watched,
even, but they just didn't care.
They literally only have a party on the boat the first little bit.
But all they look like they're doing is having a good time every time it cuts to them. And they're like, I didn't. I didn't see any progression in any of these characters.
I wonder if you.
Not even the like surfer dude. Who,
I couldn't
goes
even tell you
mental.
who the surfer dude was.
Lance.
I
the
couldn't
guy
tell
on
you.
the
I
front
could
gun.
not tell you which one Lance is.
Can I ask you this, Jim?
You can. You may not like the answer you get, but yeah.
Has it ever been said about you in the past, or have you found in real life
Where are you going with this?
that you've not known how to read a room?
No.
Okay.
That's never been hinted.
I don't mean this room right now. I just mean like it's just interesting to hear your perception of like that you didn't see anything going on that boat apart from they're all just having a fucking good time.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of those characters progressed in any way, shape, or form.
Wow.
Did
And
you think
you say this like surfer dude going down as the centre madness? That's just an LSD trip.
Okay.
If he's taking LSD, then that's just an advert for don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, I mean that is absolutely part
not.
of it.
Oh, this character's gone a bit fucking barmy. It's just he's gone barmy because he's had a bad
But
LSD trip.
what about the character arc of Chef, where it starts
Which
off...
one's Chef?
Chef is the one with the mustache.
I'm fairly certain a lot of them had mustaches.
On the boat.
Be more specific.
On the boat, he's like the vice captain.
He's
the guy
he's
whose
the
head
engineer.
gets cut off at the end.
Yeah.
I still can tell you.
Fucking hell.
Wow. Did you watch this film? Probably?
I looked at a screen.
Okay. How early do you think you might have switched off? Like, not the TV, I mean, in Jim's mind. Did you switch it off, do you think?
Okay.
Probably ever so often.
In the film, Chef as a character starts off by being very like he's what's called short in the military. He hasn't got very long left until he can go home. So he's very much like, I don't want to risk nothing. I don't want to do nothing. I haven't got long left. This is fucking shit. I don't want to go on this mission. And then he goes on this mission, and he's the one that has to go on the boat. And he's like, I'm not getting on that boat. Like, they might kill me. They might shoot me. I don't want to go on the boat. And in the end, he is the one, after it all goes to hell, he says, no, Martin Sheen's character, Willard, you are not carrying on by yourself. We are going with you to the end. And he is then on that boat by himself, and the 8 hours are up, and he, knowing the risk, still tries to complete the mission and call in the airstrike, which leads to him being killed. His character goes from somebody who does not care, has completely unengaged, to making the ultimate sacrifice to complete the mission.
That sounds like
That
me
is
right
a
now.
huge character arc.
That sounds like me doing this podcast right now. I did not care.
What,
and
someone
I
with
have
your head cut off? Yeah.
I have sacrificed myself to complete the mission of recording this podcast.
It's amazing because
Just call me Chef.
I'm not saying this is by any means, but this film was not necessarily regarded at the time. It was well thought of, but critics did have some thoughts around it. Wasn't perfect, but it is retrospectively considered one of the greatest films of all time.
Fucking nonsense.
Like in a lot of like top 5
Rubbish.
playlists,
Yeah.
like the best films.
I think
ever
it's
made.
IMDb number something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute tosh.
I don't necessarily think it is, but I absolutely see elements of a masterpiece in this
It
film.
is.
And there's a load of amazing, interesting information about like how incredibly difficult this was to make. It was continuously delayed.
Marlon Brando, fucking hell.
So Marlon Brando, which we'll come on to maybe when we come to recast and go make a cast roll. Brando's character, or Brando, apparently turned up like for filming like really completely unprepared.
Massively like overweight, isn't he? He was
Like really overweight, really unhealthy. I think they had to get a body double in for a lot of it. And I think it caused like a lot of the ending to be changed.
Yeah,
they
well,
had
so
to
yeah,
work
so
with what
he
they could.
didn't want to be shown. So that whole atmospheric, like everything in the dark, everything like mood lighting and stuff, was just because he did not want to be seen
Really?
looking like he is.
I wonder if they were intended him then, because he's meant to be like this epic, super badass special forces colonel. If they had intended a bit more of like physicality from him, like when he goes to and cuts.
Yeah,
Presumably it's
I
either
don't think
him
so.
or
I
orders
think he is supposed
Chef's
to have
head
gone
get
to
cut off.
seed kind of thing. I think he is supposed to have like
Right.
not let himself go as such, but like he's become more of a man of the mind than a man of the body.
That's interesting. Apparently Willard's voiceover was entirely recorded by Martin Sheen's brother, Joe Estevez, because they basically have the exact same voice.
Oh my god, I did not know that.
Yeah, so I think
Because I saw that Joe Estevez was in it, and I was like, what was he in it?
I think he doubles for Sheen in
Does he?
quite a lot of scenes. Yeah, and I think 'cause Sheen also literally had a heart attack during production, and I think was worried that he would get cut and stuff. So I think he claimed that it was heat stroke instead. Like the whole process of this film was like sets getting like destroyed by typhoons and stuff. Like it just, I think Coppola had to borrow and re-borrow and constantly go back to the studio and ask for more money and that kind of thing because the budget just kept on blowing up and blowing up. Yeah.
I think it was so good. Like there's so many like moments in it. Like I can't remember in the actual release if there's that whole scene, you know, where they stop at that weird kind of like, I mean, there's lots of like points along the river, but you know the one where they then have like a sort of a almost like a titillation show and the women come out and all the soldiers go
play
like
the bunnies and
that was felt like a really out of left field scene, that.
But I think this is the
they
thing.
Just land on a helicopter. Obviously, although I do think it's meant to be kind of. I think they kind of did have that kind of stuff.
Well, they have USO shows, but
Yeah.
obviously in Vietnam they couldn't have USO shows, so they kind of had like,
Yeah, whatever that was.
Yeah, but there's just so many scenes where you're like, and that's why I think that theory of like the descent into hell, the different rings.
Yeah.
You've almost got like, well, was that one lust? You know, and then you've got different ones, and it's it's interesting.
Yeah, kind of, even if it wasn't necessarily, I think that analogy works, but even more kind of basically than that, it was kind of like the further they went closer to the front line. So I think they had to cross into Cambodia, didn't they, to get to Kurtz's. So it was like beyond where there were any other Allied troops. And that final outpost they get to in the dark, where there's that bridge that's constantly being destroyed and rebuilt. That for me was like the scariest sequence of the whole film, because it was like, where's the commanding officer? Like no one knows like who's in charge, what's going on. They're just like wide awake or trying to sleep, and it just felt like really freaky.
Yeah, because really imagine being there. That would be like being trapped in a nightmare.
Yeah,
you can't get out, you can't go anywhere. You're just in the ass end of nowhere, fighting shadows in a jungle. Like it'd be terrifying.
You know what though? I don't think it was perfect. At least the very extended version that I watched. So Jim, I'll give you this. You didn't see the whole French colony section.
Well, how long?
Not needed.
Because there's a version that I'm sure totaled up to about nearly 3 hours 45. That's when there were so many different versions of this film.
Yeah, we saw the.
Well, how long was the runtime of your film?
It was like 3 hours 20, something like that.
Yeah, so there's like more tacked on.
Yeah. So I feel like it didn't need that. It didn't need as much kind of, I think it needed to get to Kurtz quicker. There was a section after that bridge bit, and then getting to Kurtz, there was a bit of a delay and stuff. There was a bit of ambling, and then it was like the French colony scene that just took away. It was a bit like when we spoke about the cocoon scene being deleted from Alien, like it takes away all the pace.
I
climactic ending.
It's difficult because I agree that I felt that it was too long. And I know I felt that it was long, and it was almost like difficult to get through. But I felt that was then maybe a bit more of like added to it, like with any of these kind of things, the build up to Kurtz is more than actually him himself.
Yeah,
like, you know, so like you're getting to him, almost there, not quite there, still other stuff in the way, and by the end you were just like, just get there, and like that's how he must have felt, and like I think it kind of added to it, you know. Like I could imagine watching this film when, like, because I watched it before I got ill, but if I'd watched this when I was like in the middle of like sort of like, you know, fever kind of, would have been like a real kind of like, whoa, like assault on the senses,
strong painkillers.
Yeah.
Jim, you said you had a favourite scene.
Well, I mean, I won't really call it a scene. It was like 10 seconds on a fucking screen.
Which was the helicopter attack.
That was it. It's literally it.
Quite a long sequence with all the helicopters flying in. Then there's quite a long action sequence of the helicopters blowing stuff up and people landing.
And then him trying to make people surf.
I literally just mean the helicopters flying over the water with the music behind it. That was it. After that, couldn't give a shit. Okay. Couldn't give a shit. Okay. Because I knew what was going to happen. They're going to start opening fire on what looked like a school or something. So they didn't care. There's no there's no wow factor to any of it. Okay. Apart from,
I mean, I think that's one of the collectively one of the greatest sequences ever filmed, particularly in war themed films.
I mean, I did. It was. I mean, not to get really nerdy, but at A level, I did something which was cool about the changing nature of warfare, and like it went from like Napoleonic times right the way up through to sort of Desert Storm,
Right.
and that kind of like the fact that in World War One they were still using horses, but they were also the first time they used tanks. It's just mental. The idea that humans are still riding on horses and they also have tanks at the same time. But I thought that idea that like a cavalry regiment traded in their horses for like helicopters, and you just saw that mentality of like they felt in that war zone that they were untouchable because they had these like helicopters, and that's how the cavalry used to feel. They were the elite soldiers cavalry, and they would feel untouchable on the battlefield. And like they feel untouchable, and then every time like a helicopter goes down, they're almost like, "Oh, like what?"
That shouldn't
it's
happen.
like and it's like a helicopter's just crashed. Like, are they okay? No, they're all dead. Oh, that's annoying. Like, go get them. Like for taking one of us down. And it did like that really well. That kind of arrogance. It was just I really liked it. I think probably we should do our meatball reviews now, to be honest.
I just want to quickly go past you. One more question. I'm so fascinated. Did you have a favourite character in the film, or if you had to?
Yeah, the
Like
ending
you say.
titles, because it was stop this horror of a film from being in my eyes.
No,
Wow.
I don't think there's a single character that stood out.
Really?
You quite like the photographer. You quite liked
Huh?
the photographer.
Who?
Thought he was good.
Dennis Hopper's
Hopper?
character.
Oh
the,
yeah, so,
journalist.
okay, yeah, Hopper. Yeah. If I had to pick one, he wasn't. He just wasn't in it enough.
Harrison Ford. He's my favourite. In it for like 10 seconds. Actually, no, my
Yeah,
favourite
but if I-
character
yeah.
is the civilian who's just there having a meal with them. Not
Yeah,
mentioned.
if I had to pick, Dennis Hopper, but he should have been in it more.
Do you know? I did notice in that early briefing scene where you've got Harrison Ford and you've got like the top brass who are giving Willard the mission that they're meant to be chowing down on some good food, and it's so obvious that like no one's eating. Like the number of like empty forks that got put into mouths, I did notice that. It's like, come on.
I bet the food went bad quick.
Yes, and the number of takes that you do,
Yeah.
I guess it would take like. Did you have a favourite character, or we're going to cover that in our cast rolling?
I think my favourite character is Chef, because I think he has a bit of a feel of Hudson from Aliens from me. He's like that guy. He's short. He's not engaged. He doesn't want to do this, but in the end, he makes the ultimate sacrifice to try and do the right thing. And I think in a film that definitely does not have any heroes or try and make out that war has any heroes, he is the closest thing that comes to just a normal guy trying to make it. And I think his death's probably the most tragic.
So meatball ratings then, yeah?
Yeah.
Gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Should we start with...
I'll
you?
go first. I'll go first.
You want to go first?
I'm happy to go first. I'm basing this on the version that I watched, which was the extended 3+ hour version. I felt like whatever was added on sucked out a little bit of like the overbearing tension and stuff. So on that basis, I'm dropping it down to a 4 meatball film. But I do think somewhere in there's a version of this film that is a 5 meatball masterpiece. So that's my rating.
Nice. Four meatballs. Should we end on a positive with me?
Well,
So do you
yeah,
wanna-
because you're both ridiculous. You're both ridiculous.
You can be the shit sandwich.
I think you're both absolutely ridiculous for this. It's the worst film we've watched. I've just felt nothing for it. No, if I felt any from a rage to the film, I'd arguably mark it higher because it invoked an emotion in me. But it's invoked no emotions from me.
Do you know what's interesting is that whilst I think this film has both style and substance, it's a very stylized film. And I think you could say the same about a film like Rebel Moon, which is like way more style over substance.
You're not getting more meatballs out of me for that.
And I thought on that basis it might appeal.
You're not going to get more meatballs in the sandwich from me, mate, for that. All right,
Come on
look,
then, how many meatballs are you popping in this
half a
sub?
meatball.
Half a
of
meatball.
One meatball.
It's the worst film we've done.
Half a meatball.
It is by far the worst film we've done.
Wow. Worse
Absolutely
than... What
the-
have we done? Worse than Rebel Moon. Obviously he's going to say that.
Worse than the one with Jennifer Lopez.
Atlas.
Yeah. Way worse.
Worse than Jennifer Lopez not knowing how to go to the loo in a mech suit.
But we had a good time watching that film. I had a good time
Not
watching
all
that
films are about having a good time.
No, but it gives you enjoyment and makes you prefer the film. It will make you review a film and rate a film higher if you enjoy it.
So you've rated Jennifer Lopez's Atlas above Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now.
To be fair, I think I gave Atlas 3 meatballs. It was a good old time.
I think you gave it 3.5.
It was a good old
There's a
time.
half a meatball left.
But remember,
I don't
I've
think it's
also
like
I've also
masterpiece
ranked it
territory.
more than Jaws. But Jaws, I had an emotion out of that. It invoked-
Another one of the best. films ever
Another
made.
one of the best films ever made. Just down
absolutely shocking. But that evoked an emotion out of me. I can't remember what I gave Jaws, but yeah, this is not. It's a
I think
nothing
Jaws might have
film.
been before we did ratings.
But this is an absolute nothing film.
Wow.
Got no emotion out of me. I was glazed over most of it. I was just glassy eyed, just like, yeah, that's a film happening in front of me.
I can believe that.
So it gets half a meatball, and that's just for some cool helicopters.
Did you go in completely unbiased, unprepared?
Yeah, well, I don't know what the film's
ready to
about.
see what it's
I
about?
know, well, apart from I knew it was about the Vietnam War, but I had no idea what the film was going to be.
But there was clearly a very early stage in watching it where the Jim brain was like, "Burp, burp."
Yeah.
I'm off. I'm going to go into standby for the rest of this.
No, I reckon I probably got about halfway through, and then I went, "This is just shit."
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm.
Now we'll let Sam have his madness moment and just spunk all over everything when it doesn't deserve it. Go on.
I'm gonna give it. I'm not gonna give it 5. But
Oh, you
not
have
because,
got a level of sanity then.
Not because I don't think it's a 5-star film. Like I said, like it's a 5-star film. It's classic. It's amazing. I think for most people, makes them a different person from before they've seen it to after they've seen it.
Right.
But the only reason is like because my star rating is also based on like if it was on the telly, would I watch it? Would I always watch it? Like, is it like one of my favorites that I'd want to watch? No, because I think you do need to be in the right frame of mind. And I do think that if you're not analysing it, it's probably not an enjoyable watch every time. So it loses half a meatball that for me, because that's like a personal thing. This is a personal rating.
Yeah.
It's a 5-star film, but it's getting 4.5 meatballs from me. So you combine that with half the meatball from Jim, and we got a 5 meatball film.
Nice.
But no, it is like I can understand Jim not liking it. I can understand people not liking it or liking it. But it is odd for me that you have not got anything from it. Even the fact that, well, fucking hell, that really did show how awful war can be. Like, or fucking hell, like he's doing all this and he doesn't even really know why. Like, it's amazing that people can get humans to kill other humans by just asking them to do it, in essence. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It really highlights that stuff, and it's odd that you didn't get anything from it.
The way I look at it is he was doing it because it's his fucking job to do it. It was his job to do
But
it,
isn't it
and not
mental?
ask questions.
Isn't it mental that we have a job of killing people?
That's the army, mate.
Yeah, I know, but like,
Who am I to question the army? I've never been in that environment, so I'm not gonna.
I'm talking more
I've got no-
existentially. Like, if you were
Yeah, it's
talking to an
mental.
alien race, and
Of
an
course
alien
it's
race come
mental.
down,
Of
you're
course
like,
it's absolutely
sorry, you've got a
mental.
job where you kill other humans.
Fucking God help us if an alien race comes down and the first person they encounter is Jim off the back of watching Apocalypse
To be honest,
Now.
from what I know of him, they'll just be taking him home.
We're coming to get you.
Yeah.
Go away.
Of course,
again.
it's mental, but I don't think these people are there because.
But do you think I think my last thing to try and salvage something is you've said yourself you really hate that hoorah kind of stuff, and that hoorah kind of stuff is dangerous because we could be running the risk of like another generation of people thinking that war is cool. This film, at least, you'd show it to someone and they'd be like, I'm not fucking joining up, which would be a good thing.
You've misquoted me.
Have I?
I don't hate hoorah. I hate hoorah when it's not earned and not required.
Right.
So, like I said, in the case of Independence Day, wasn't required to be all hoorah America because they'd made that conscious decision to involve other
But you're
nations.
not against hoorah.
I'm not against hoorah
right, okay.
if the point of the film is hoorah.
I'm against hoorah if it isn't to the backdrop of hoorah, oh fuck, we shouldn't have been hoorah.
Yeah.
Because every film I like that's got hoorah is like Aliens. Hoorah! Fuck, they're actually better than us. We shouldn't have been hoorah.
Yeah, it's kind of satirised.
Or not necessarily satire, but there's got to be like an awakening.
Right. What didn't you like then, Jim, about the Ura in Starship Troopers?
Don't know. I can't remember what I said.
Okay.
And we're not going back on Starship Troopers.
Okay.
We're not going down that rabbit hole again.
Okay, so
Okay.
4 meatballs from Nick, 4.5 meatballs from Sam, half a meatball.
Can I say, I feel bad sometimes, but when there's a film where like it's culturally considered like a great film, right? Like maybe me and you, Sam, think like, yeah, it's a great film. I worry sometimes that when Jim comes in with what some might regard as a really refreshing take, right? But certainly original, I don't want us to be like, oh well, you obviously don't know the films. It was obviously a masterpiece. Like, good on you for having your own take.
Like I said, like you can not like. I'm just surprised you didn't find anything in a film that for me had so much. But
the cinematography
just look cheap.
The score. I mean, the score is.
I had one scene. I had one scene where I was like, yeah, it's a wicked.
But actually, like the score in all of it, like when they don't use sound.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It's
and
terrifying.
it's effective. Yeah, we've got to touch on that whole Flight of the Valkyries scene, the whole build up for me, and we'll come on to it. Lieutenant
Bill Kilgore
is so played by Robert
Duvall.
Best character in the film for me. I think he's amazing. I
Yeah.
think he's hilarious, terrifying at the same time. He's got just loads of amazing lines. He's kind of the kind of father figure to his troop, and yet he's also kind of unhinged himself and like so focused on surfing and stuff. Puts his troops in danger to go back to this place because he hears that this landing spot is a great surf spot as well. Like he's got loads of great lines. Like
6 foot waves.
yeah, Charlie, don't surf. There's loads of good lines from him.
So for me, I think that for me this film it has a lot of allegory in it, and I feel like Kilgore is the USA before the Vietnam War, and Kurtz is the USA after the Vietnam War.
Well, man,
yeah, because he is like, "Hoorah! I love the smell of napalm!" Like up America, like surfing.
Yeah,
and then the war happens and the troops come back and this is always bad. Like whether you agree with the war or not, you always have to support the troops because they didn't choose to be there. They are doing, a job. It's crazy that we've got that as a job, but they are doing a job. It is necessary. You should always support them. But they came back and they didn't have a hero's welcome. And this was a few years removed from VE Day, when there were parades in the streets for troops and veterans were like high up there, and they would be, maybe they were at VE Day, maybe they were or their parents definitely were and stuff. They were one removed from the greatest generation, and they were coming back and they were reviled and they were hated and they were spat at, and that's wrong. And I think Vietnam did break America a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, look, when that scene was happening, I started getting, and I was getting goosebumps up my arm, and I was thinking, oh, okay, this film's about to turn around for me here, and then it just went straight back to just, oh, okay, drab.
Do you think because it wasn't a all-out action film?
No, because I was up until that point, I was understanding it's not that film.
Yeah,
it was quite clear it wasn't going to be that kind of film.
Yeah. And
then it started turning around. I thought, okay, they might actually have some. No, it's just back to just drab.
The other thing I did want to mention, because obviously we said we'd talk about it, and it's something we have talked about before. I actually thought the voiceover was brilliant in it, and I think maybe that's because like in war films, it is quite a used trope because they're almost like they're writing back home to their loved ones, or they're filing reports, or they're getting their notes down in like a log or something. So it feels very natural to kind of have voiceover in sort of war films or like conflict times, because this could be somebody, you don't know if he made it or made it back, or it was from his memoirs or from something, like they were reading this guy's thoughts about this time, and I think it worked very well. And it didn't feel like the voiceover was there as exposition. It felt the voiceover was there as just a sort of a spotlight into his into inner thinking, inner thoughts.
Yeah, I also felt like it did a good job because we were messaging. I think like some of us were partway through watching the film, and we said about who we making a cast roll of from this film. We said, well, it's got to be Brando as well. And you said, Jim, like, hang on a minute, he's not even. I'm like part of the way through the film. He's not even made an appearance yet. But
I was about 2 hours into the film when I said that.
Yeah,
You could have been about 2.5 hours. And still wouldn't have been.
yeah, he is not in a lot of the film.
No.
But I think like the part of what those monologues from Willard does is he's looking through the case notes, he's looking through the information about Kurtz, and he's building up this myth of Kurtz in his head, isn't he? And so for me, I felt like Kurtz was in the film from an earlier stage because this picture of like Kurtz is built of the myth, the man, the legend, the
Larger
monster.
than life,
Yeah. I found it effective. I feel like it was a lot of it. I didn't know whether that was because there's more in the extended cut or not.
Maybe, yeah.
Shall we try to put Jim out of his misery and maybe move on?
Should we move on? Can we finally move on to the casserole?
Okay.
Shall we casserole this thing?
Okay.
I can't even remember who we're casseroling.
So, well,
Martin Sheen,
I think
Marlon Brando. They were the two dead certs, and we were each going to just pick anyone else that we wanted to. Correct? Is that right?
I think the it's difficult because the Dennis Hopper character is sort of, I'll use the word again, quite iconic in this film. I think.
Which one's Dennis Hopper again? Is he
the
one?
photographer?
And he's the one that says "Love smell napalm." Yeah.
No, that's Kilgore.
Well, okay, I'm recast the wrong person.
But that's fine. But I've got
Which
some
was the one that you
recasting.
said you liked then?
That's the character I like, Kilgore.
Kilgore.
Yeah, not Ed, not Ed Harris.
Right. Okay.
Not Ed Harris. No. Spoiler alert. Who I'm going Not Dennis Hopper. Kilgore. That's who I liked.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've got a few for like.
Sam confused me because he convinced me it was Dennis Hopper. He said, "Yeah, that's the one you like." Okay, yeah, whatever.
Well, sorry. I thought saying the actor's name and the character's name would have been enough.
So some of us might have a couple of shouts for some of the other characters in this film because there is a phenomenal cast in this film.
Yeah.
There's loads of interesting parts. Well, depending on your point of view, there is an incredible, sort of star-studded, quite famous cast. But I think in the core, we decided that we would each do our own casting choices for Willard and Kurtz.
Yeah.
Because kind of like that's the framing of the whole film.
Yeah.
It all hinges around this climactic.
They're the alpha, the
ending.
omega of this film, aren't they?
Absolutely right. But I think we've maybe got a couple of other shouts for some of the other parts.
But let's all go around. Let's do Willard and then Kurtz, and then we'll just do our own ad hoc. Yeah.
I'm happy to kick things off.
All right.
Go on then.
Right.
Is it
Vince Vaughn.
fucking Helen Mirren?
She'd have been a better shout for fucking Ripley.
Right. I'll just jump straight in. So starting with Willard.
Should we all do our Willards, and then we
Sure.
can discuss how which each of those would work?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for me, no. I reckon we should do both because it's all about the dynamics between the acting and
that's
relationship.
fair.
Is that
That's
cool?
fair. Yeah.
Okay. So for Benjamin Willard, played by Martin Sheen, and a little bit played by his brother Joe Estevez as well. Can I just also say the interesting thing about this character? Do you think they ever commented on the fact that Charlie Sheen went on to basically lampoon that whole film in Hot Shots?
Well, they do, don't they? I mean,
did they?
Martin Sheen's in Hot Shots.
Oh, is he? I've
coming
not
on the
seen it
boat
for
the other
so
way,
long.
and they just point at each other. Yeah, so yeah,
I have not watched Hot Shots in such a long time.
It's actually Hot Shots Part 2.
Well, either way, I've not watched either of them in such a long time.
Love those films.
But obviously, that reference I would have just gone straight over my head.
Well, now.
But now I know. I'm like, cool.
See, we're making other films better for you.
So Willard, played by Martin Sheen. So interestingly, Sheen was like nowhere near the top of the list for casting choices for this film. I think loads of other people were considered. Robert Redford. I think Harvey Keitel was literally on site filming initially. So he initially had the role of Willard. And I think that Coppola didn't like the way that I think basically Keitel didn't enjoy being so passive in the role because Sheen plays Willard with a lot of like.
Sorry, you've just said a name I've never heard of. Who the fuck's Harvey Keitel?
Have you seen Reservoir Dogs?
Is the one that comes. Okay.
Have you seen Pulp Fiction?
No, he wouldn't see any of this. He's been in other stuff. Yeah, we'll look it up in a bit.
Yeah, he's been in other stuff.
You'll recognise his face.
Yeah, Google him.
No.
And yeah, he like was doing some of the roles. I think have I got that right? I'll double check. But I think basically in the end, because he was playing him didn't want to play him so passively, and a lot of what Sheen does in that character Willard is like staring off into space. There's a lot of like conversations that end and Willard's just staring, and that is
quite
that
like
kind
that
of
though.
PTSD.
He lets people almost like, it's that thing, isn't it? If you want to know if someone's lying, just don't say anything and see if they trap themselves in another lie, or like he's very much like waits for other people to make a mistake.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's my choices. That's what I want to capture, with that kind of like slightly unhinged, staring off into space. So a person, I'm going to say a person, but they're not, potentially not as well known. So I've got like a main choice, but someone I thought would be amazing is an actor called Christopher Abbott, who I think I've shouted at before, is in one of my favourite films, which is Possessor. I think he could play it really well, really kind of staring into space, unhinged. The person I've gone for is based on their performances in films where I think they do this really well. It's a bit of an A-lister choice, and that's Ryan Gosling. I think I've shouted him before for other roles, actually.
Gosling.
Maybe in Seven or something.
That's not a bad shout, actually, Gosling.
Yeah.
But I think like in films like Drive, in films like some of his self-directed work, where they are really dark films, actually, he's got that kind of like, he's obviously like this really good-looking A-lister kind of charisma, but also he's kind of got that staring, like that 1,000-yard stare. And I think he could do that really effectively. So that's my choice for Willard. Colonel Kurtz. Right?
Oh God.
Let me just say, right, I think there is a really funny spoof version of this film.
Is it Maggie Smith?
Right. This is not my choice, but I think there is a spoof version of this film where they get there and Will Ferrell has just gone like totally rogue. I know you fucking
Will
hate
Ferrell?
him, Jim. Like there is, I think it's like grown up on like Anchorman and all those kind of films, which I still feel like, I totally get where people are like, he's not funny. But I think there's a really funny spoof version where like he's just gone completely rogue when he gets there, and he's just like ordering the tribes to do like loads of crazy shit, like bring me like 10 severed heads now, and that kind of thing. But in all seriousness, the casting choice that I've gone for Colonel Kurtz, so I think it's just got all that gravitas. We might need to graft his head onto like Dolph Lundgren's body or something. And once again, bringing back Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Like imagine like sat in the darkness, reciting the poetry, all the monologues. Would
Philip
just be
Seymour
like,
Hoffman is such a good show.
He'd be unbelievable, I think. But yeah, maybe for the like they did with Brando, they'd have to bring in a stunt double. Or
Like,
something. Or we could have henched up.
It's a crap film, but Mission Impossible 3 with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Excuse me?
Mission Impossible.
One of the greatest franchises of all time. Fuck off, are you calling Mission Impossible 3 shit?
Well, Mission Impossible 3 is one of the worst of those.
Alright, I'll allow you to say that, but the franchise is probably one of the best of all time.
It's right. Hang on. Pause. It's definitely not one of the best of all time.
Yes, it is.
Jesus Christ.
It's one of the best franchises of all time.
Can you really call it a franchise when it's one story told 7 different times?
Yeah.
Right, okay. But him in that, where he's just like, you know, like up to that point, you know, Ethan has been able to talk his way out of everything, and then he's like, I don't care, I'm going to find you, I'm going to break you. You've got people you love,
just
I'm going to kill them.
unnervingly.
And it's just that, like, fuck.
Yeah. And yeah, I totally agree. That's what I feel like he'd have, that kind of like this is was a great man, but he's just fucking broke. His mind is broken. Yeah, and I think that could be really scary. So those are my choices.
Ryan Gosling and Philip Seymour Hoffman is fucking strong.
Oh, thanks, man. And then I had one other my curveball. And it sounds like you might have a choice for this, Jim, as well. Was for Kilgore, and I thought that Sam Rockwell could play an interesting.
He's good.
Take
Yeah, he's
on
good.
Kilgore.
He's brilliant.
That kind of, he'd be like super sort of chirpy,
Nice.
and then he'd just be like, God damn it! And I think that could be really fun.
I want to go next because I think we should end on yours because I think it'd be more interesting to see how you try to improve a film you don't like.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think we should.
Because I think also my choices will be similar to Nick's, so I think it'll be like going back. Well, let's do it. Right. So for Willard, so I've gone for someone who I think this would be an obvious Hollywood choice again, a bit like Ryan Gosling, but I've gone for Michael Fassbender. I think like that kind of physicality, that kind of like stillness that he got as David, you know,
He's
that
got
kind
that
of like
stare
that
as well.
stare,
Yeah.
and I could imagine him doing the voiceover really well.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
He's got, what a voice.
what
He's
a
got.
voice, right?
Yeah.
So I think Fassbender would be one, and then for my Brando, I originally went for somebody, and then I thought, it'd be too obvious a choice. So I originally went for Vincent D'Onofrio, who is Kingpin in like Daredevil and things. Yeah. But he's in like Full Metal Jacket.
Yes.
And that's another famous, Vietnam film where he goes crazy. And I thought it'd just be too simple. Vincent D'Onofrio could definitely do it. He would knock it out of the fucking park.
Yep.
But I've gone for someone who I really think needs to do another one of these roles. He's only done this kind of role once as Candy.
Is it someone from Bridgerton?
No.
Okay.
It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wow. As Kurtz?
As Kurtz.
Wow.
Because him as that unhinged Candy, like in Django.
Yeah.
I want he plays a villain so well.
Yeah.
I want him to do it again. And I just think like him, like kind of like you could see him like being this like, poster boy,
shaved
kind of,
head, like, would be imposing,
like
right?
just go for it, like DiCaprio, like let your inner demon out and just be mental. I think
I'd kind of
really
want
good.
DiCaprio to like to do it, but I want him to turn up unprepared as well, and then do it, and I feel like he'd be great.
So I've got a few other ones for the other ones, so I'll rattle through them quite quickly. But I think for the photographer, who played by Dennis Hopper, again, this is really obvious, but I think Willem Dafoe would just be great. He'd just be mental, and he'd just be like, I'm spaced out, man. I'm seeing like things go through time. You don't know him.
He's a prophet, man. Yeah, he'd be great.
He'd be great, right? And then for my Kilgore, this guy Matthew McConaughey.
Oh,
Think Matthew McConaughey in Reign of Fire.
Yeah.
Just like, man, I love this Monday. Like, it'd be so good, right?
That's a great
And then
shout.
for like the crew of the boat, I just run through it really quickly. So for Lance, who's the surfer that goes mental, Shia LaBeouf. I think he'd be
Great
good.
shout.
Like, he would show going mental.
Well, that's just because he is mental.
Well, yeah, but he's also a great actor.
Yeah. Limited prep needed.
For Chef, who's the guy that to the end actually is it, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Great shout.
For the cleaner, Caleb McLaughlin, who's from Stranger Things.
Yes.
And then for the captain that like cares for these people, Idris Elba. Ooh. Just like
got that gravitas. And
got the gravitas and like really taking like the cleaner under the wing.
Did you think of that role though because of his performance where he plays the captain in Prometheus?
Yeah, I mean, I forgot
Not
he was
very
in
well.
Prometheus, to be honest.
Yeah, he does an American accent in Prometheus. He's like the ship's captain.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but I do like the I can see it. I think it's a good choice actually.
Yeah. So that's it. So I think there's so many roles in this that could be played by these like really iconic actors, and they would just make it sing because they're really great, well written characters.
Jim.
I still can't believe you're calling this a masterpiece and saying they're well written.
How can you not say they're not well written?
Because it's a shit film.
It's so believable.
It's
the dialogue.
Fucking not. Nothing about it.
I think.
Anyway.
I think we're maybe coming to the crux of some of this because there have been some trends in films we've spoken about in the past. I wondered sometimes if his dialogue. I can't tell if his dialogue that you're not a fan of like lots of dialogue in a film, but then we've watched other things where you do really seem to enjoy quite emotional dialogue like Shawshank and stuff like that. So I was trying to think like, is it like just where like a film relies a lot on just a lot of talking that turns you off, or is it something else?
I guess we'll never know.
No.
I guess we'll never know.
I mean, you could not care less.
I could not care less. Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, well, like a sort of young Tom Cruise.
Just Tom Cruise.
All right, fine.
Tom Cruise.
Just Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise now.
There's a reason I asked the question of where the fuck is Kurtz, because I had to Google Marlon Brando in this one because I don't know what he looks like, and I just got an image of generic bald man. Generic bald man was only in 10 seconds of this film that I watched, so I've cut him.
What? You didn't choose anyone.
Just he's cut.
He's not in the film.
Not in the film.
Not in the film.
Kurtz is not in the film.
Right.
Do you know what? Right. From that insanity.
Short film now.
No, but from that insanity, what if he
you
gets
still-
there and doesn't find anyone?
Yeah, that's actually cool.
No, he can still find someone, but you just see the back of someone's head and then he kills him because that is how little he's in that film.
I mean, he has.
I do not see him in that film until in the flashing lights and he's getting stabbed.
He has
And
extensive
bearing in mind,
dialogue.
I don't know where the fuck how he got to him, because one minute Martin Sheen's in a cage, and next minute he's not, and I didn't even see him get out of the fucking cage.
They don't. They carry him.
He's fucking walking.
Yeah, but they carry him out of the cage, and then he like talks to him, and kind of like he's letting him kind of be his disciple.
That whole section, yeah, because when he gets there, they talk about someone else that was sent on the same mission, and they warn him like someone got there and turned, so they got there to assassinate.
Well,
Kurtz
what
and
I saw
and
was
turned.
Martin Sheen walk, lurk, stab. No carrying, no. He's in about 20 seconds tops, so that role is just cut, and you can just stick a fucking stunt double there.
Maybe there is a fifth version of this film we don't know about. It's like a fan-made 20-minute.
Yeah. There's like napalm shit, there's a tiger, then he stabbed
so
her.
little of this film that I was like, what's the fucking point? And yet you sat there and went, oh yeah, it's such an iconic casting. What, for 20 seconds? Yeah, I'd say it's quite fucking iconic to cast a big name for it.
Do you see the point where do you recall the monologue where he's talking about when he was in Special Forces serving?
Yeah, but that's all Marlon Brando. That's not Marlon
And
Brando,
they-
is that's fucking...
No. The bit
That's
where
Martin
Marlon Brando's
no.
talking about finding all those children's arms.
One of Brando's many monologues during his end section.
Many monologues.
I mean, no.
And he talks about the horror of finding the camp where they inoculate the children, and as they leave,
I
someone runs back, they
recall
go back and they've
Martin
cut off
Sheen
all the
looking
children.
Because
over lots
if
of
I saw
letters.
that, I would go mental.
Yeah, right.
I recall
That's
Martin... I recall
a really
Martin...
important part of
Yeah.
his character.
Of all the monologues, as far as I'm aware, it was Martin Sheen reading letters.
Okay.
If you're telling me that's Brando's thing, okay, fine, but he's not on screen.
Yeah, he's on screen during that bit because he's speaking.
We
To the
fucking
camera.
won't. He fucking won't. Or if he did, I was in full glaze mode then. But as far as I'm aware, he was in 20 seconds of that film just getting stabbed, so do you know what, you're gone.
You know, there is a version of this film which actually, like you said, so I don't not like it when he gets there and either like he doesn't exist or he gets there and he's already dead or something.
Yeah, he's been killed by the people.
And Willard just assumes that role because there is. I think they said about the making of the film like when they had to create the ending as it is because they had to adapt and staff and they were a bit screwed in terms of what Brando was able to perform and do. That they decided to go with like this Fisher King-esque kind of ending where like at the end when Willard's having killed Kurtz is walking down the steps of the temple and all the people are there kind of and then he's now revered as like this godly figure. I think like obviously he's then back on the boat, but there is a version where almost like he could sit back down or maybe like he gets there, Kurtz was long dead, like he's a skeleton like on the throne or something, and then Willard just sits down on the throne and becomes like the new Kurtz or something.
Yeah.
Like that's cool. That is
I
really
think
cool.
that's good.
So
Yeah.
your version can work too if you want. Your reasoning behind it is more interesting.
And yeah, as I may have spoiled, yeah, just Kilgore, Ed Harris. He's quality.
Ed Harris. I mean,
Does-
Ed Harris is a...
Yeah, in
he's
full
quality.
The Rock mode.
He could be if he wants. But, you know, then it just kind of goes against what Sam was saying, and it's how, obviously, it would probably be delivered in the way Sam envisioned the line being said, when actually Sam thinks it's better than it is. But it's just in a scene.
This is a...
All lines are just in scenes.
Yes, but what I'm saying is the scene, I envision that line to be delivered in such an iconic moment and scene, and it's just a scene where he's just chatting to someone on the beach.
But that's chilling. That is chilling.
But it
that a
wasn't.
man is just sat there having like a casual chat with some people before they go surfing, and he's just saying, like fucking thousands of tons of napalm have just gone off, possibly killing hundreds of people in the most horrific way, and he's like, "Oh, I love that smell," you know. Like people are like, "Oh, I love
It's
bonfires."
just a big
and
bonfire,
it's-
mate.
Exactly.
But then,
the
that'd be like me
cold
saying, oh, I love the smell of a bonfire. That's how it was delivered. It's like, oh, I love the smell of...
Exactly.
But that's not chilling.
It is because
No,
he
it's
is
not.
saying about something, about a weapon of
expecting
war
this-
that is now banned
I was
under human
expecting
rights.
this big, iconic moment. It's like, oh, is that it? We're just brushing it off away.
But
How,
that's
how
it.
wait, I want to hear Jim's delivery of that line in the way that he thinks it should have been.
I love napalm in the morning. It's like, oh, victory.
I mean, yeah, Jim Carrey would probably do that. I don't know. It's just, I was expecting something more than just... I was expecting an iconic moment, and it was not that.
Oh, mate.
Iconic lines are quiet. They're contemplated. They're, you know, that like we were saying in Jaws, that line, when he's talking about like remember the way he delivers it, and it's so like it's chilling and cold in this horrific catastrophe, and he's just telling it. And actually, for someone like Quint to open up that much to these two other people takes a lot. That is iconic. Someone comparing like the smell of burning bodies to a bonfire they might have on like a Halloween night is chilling. That's what makes it iconic.
I'm going to tell you what, I mentioned earlier on, Aliens, iconic line, genuinely chilling, new. They mostly come out at night, mostly fucking chills down my spine.
Yeah, that is
this, good. Fuck all. I was expecting something more from that line, and it was just like, oh, it's just a scene it's just a throwaway line in a scene. Why is this such an iconic line?
Right, Jim, one word review. Jules.
Oh, shit.
Gladiator.
Shit.
Apocalypse Now.
Fucking dire.
Is dire worse than shit?
I don't know.
I mean,
Such apathy. Such apathy. I don't think I felt, I mean, at least I guess Rebel Moon stirred some genuine emotion in me. It was anger mainly, and fury, but yeah, not this apathy.
I mean, this got nothing out of me. No anger, no enjoyment. Nothing. It's just it's a film.
Okay, well,
it just existed on screen.
Well, we've recast it. We've recast it. We watched the film. Two of us enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Jim, I'm sorry it wasn't for you.
To be fair, you will probably find this with most war films. Unless I'm not really a war film kind of guy. So I'm probably never going to enjoy a war film unless it is just something that clicks.
Have you seen Saving Private Ryan?
Yes.
Right, okay.
And from memory, I really liked it. It's probably one of those ones, I've not watched it for about 20 years. So it'll be interesting to see how I am with it now. But I remember really liking it.
Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, I just sit here and I'm like, I'm like, we're on this journey to expand your visual library of films, and sometimes I'm like,
you have expanded.
You don't deserve this film.
You have expanded it, and this film is very much straight out of that library, tossed to one side, never to be seen again.
I mean, it is. I try not to think of it as it is, but it is like I described to you, Sam, as though scientists have found like an ancient pork pie buried in the ground, brought it to life somehow, and just started showing it some films.
You know what? Mr. Impossible's the greatest franchise ever!
A pork pie. I mean, I would have allowed anything else, but something that I just can't stand.
You don't like pork pie?
It's vile.
You don't like a pork pie?
They're vile.
A little bit of English mustard.
Little bit of piccalilli.
Oh, they're just rubbish. Anyway,
moving on.
Sticking with castor rolls. As you know, I put up a vote on our socials for whose was the best Ripley. It comes as no surprise that Maggie Smith was last. I was worried to begin with because she took an early lead.
Come on, guys.
I feel like Maggie Smith, she could have won because it would be like Boaty McBoatface.
That's what I thought was happening as the votes were coming. I was like, seriously, guys, what's going on right now? Why are we voting Maggie Smith?
Those are the people that understood my vision. Maybe after now, I've been able to explain.
I had several of them message me, reply to just say, I'm doing it for the lols. So they didn't understand.
They're like the Joker, like they just want to watch the world burn.
And Millie Bobby Brown won.
Millie Bobby Brown. Well, yeah, that's because
I won't lie. It was a bit unfair on the things. The labelling of the poll was Millie Bobby Brown, Maggie Smith, and the girl from Bridgerton because I couldn't be looking up her name because
I'm completely unbiased there.
Well, the girl from Bridgerton still beat Maggie Smith, so.
They just
without even having a name,
because you got to see her boobs.
Without even having a name, she got more votes.
Look, I'm not saying that maybe at the end Maggie Smith would be like in her top and pants in that like slightly sexualized scene.
The pants that don't fit. I think that seems to be an issue with Sigourney Weaver in this franchise. She seems to get pants that don't fit.
I think that's on purpose.
Yeah, I think it probably is.
You listen to me now, you silly alien. You sit back down.
Great. I
So,
love those.
Try and face hug a man.
The idea
Get you.
the idea that the alien also face hugged an older person, so the alien itself, that's so good.
That is good, yeah.
two,
Just
like,
an old alien
octogenarians.
slowly like chasing after Maggie Smith, and like the alien's hip breaks. Like, stop chasing me, you fiend!
So are we now basing the Alien Queen off of Queen Lizzie?
Yeah.
So, we've successfully or unsuccessfully cast our old Apocalypse Now. Should we find out what we're watching next?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
Let's see
come
what
on.
film.
Should we rip
Let's
that
see what
back?
iconic, amazing, classic film Jim can be like, meh.
Spin the Mega Wheel.
Let's spin this wheel.
Oh.
And the wheel has dished up. You ready? Running Man.
And we were talking about 80s action films and aliens and your interpretation.
Have you
seen this? Have you
no,
seen
but
Running
this
Man?
is probably right up my
Cool,
jam.
sorry.
This is probably my jam because
Yeah.
I love a good 80s action film.
There's nothing.
So this
to
is
not
probably
like about
this is probably
Running
going to be right up my street.
Man. Yeah.
Just feel like you never know at this point. You
No.
never know. But yeah, let's hope so, because I don't want to go through another fucking apathetic.
Sam, do we have an audio aperitif this
We
week?
do. The first
Well,
audio aperitif of the season.
Before we throw to Sam,
Oh.
just have a few little shout outs because, of course, as people know, I put the sounds up ahead of the episodes. So we actually had a couple of good responses. There was actually one that got all three,
Boom.
but I now can't find the response because I don't know where it's gone. So unfortunately, it's null and void because it was replied over on our Blue Sky and it's now gone, and I don't know where it's gone.
Well, whoever
It's-
you are, that person,
So-
well done.
Yeah, but however, we have got one that's got two, and then two rather. I don't know where these guys are. One from the Watch It If You Can podcast. Zero idea. Time Bandits. That was the response.
Time Bandits.
Well, for any of the sounds.
Good film. Yeah.
If I keep saying it, eventually.
Yeah.
Time Bandits.
The Stellar Future Radio podcast. Oreo cookies.
What?
I don't know.
Oreo cookies.
Yeah, but our good friends over at the Cinematic Elite podcast, they're on the ball. First one, Monty Python Holy Grail, Brave Sir Robin, Fake Horse.
Yeah, nice.
Bosh.
Second,
I can't help but think the Oreo cookies one was maybe replying to the wrong poll. Like, best top snack.
Maybe they thought like
possibly.
was actually people eating.
Second one, Opening Battle, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Third one, they had no idea. But 2 out of 3,
That's not bad.
top lads
That's not
from
bad.
top lads from down in the old land of Australia.
Did I get 2 or 3?
You got two.
2.
You didn't get the coconut.
You did not get the
I didn't
coconuts.
get the didn't get the cookies.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, but for the first time in year 2, people,
Round 1.
Audio Aperitif.
take
Are we
it
ready?
away.
There's no theme to this. Just be good.
Well,
I'm going to come
I'm
to
ready.
Jim first, so get ready to write some stuff down.
Hang on. How specific? Do you want the character, or do you want? Or can I just give you the film, or?
No, I want the film and what this person is doing in the film. Doesn't have to be like the exact times they're doing this thing, because they do it several times. But I need to know the film, the character, and what that sound is.
Okay, so
Have you written something down, Jim? No,
That's-
sorry,
that's Nick.
That's Nick.
Excuse me. Yeah, but I can't. Yeah, I don't know if something's throwing me off, but I've got something.
right, obviously I couldn't hear any background noise, so I don't think it's that specific moment. But I've written Indiana Jones and his whip.
Okay, Nick.
I've got the same thing, But I felt like what was throwing me off from it was the whip sound.
It sounded like
stretchy.
Yeah, well, I think I'm envisioning him. He's probably on a scene when he's in like a jungle and he's attached got like a vine. He's pulling against a vine and he's using his whip to maybe pull out of some quicksand or something. I think he gets stuck in quicksand at one point, doesn't he? In one of the films.
Uses it to swing across a gap. It is in fact Indiana Jones's whip.
Hey! Okay,
1 point apiece. Okie dokie.
Yeah, because I didn't hear any background noise. Originally, I was going to be really specific and say it's when he whips the gun out the guy's hand, but there was no like market sound or anything.
To be fair, this is general whip sounds from the Indiana Jones.
Yeah. It was either that or 50 Shades, so I'm glad.
yeah. Although the first time I heard it, that first like sounds like the Predator's mask going on again.
Yeah, it always have like a sci-fi.
Right, are we ready? Do we even need to hear that one again?
If I've got it wrong, I've just been unnecessarily confident.
Do I go first?
You go first, Nick.
Okay. I've got Star Wars pod racing.
Jim?
Pod racer.
You are correct.
Hey!
2 for 2.
Oh, decider.
Now the hard
Have we
one.
got to decide if we both get 3? Just goes as
Just
a...
you
goes
both
draw,
get
innit?
one.
Have a draw.
It's not a draw. You both get one
Okay.
win for the season.
Ooh.
Sorry.
A lot going on there.
There was play that again. That was
Like once you know, it's so easy.
It's that bit halfway through that sounds like wind-up teeth.
well. I've got a guess. Are you throwing at me first? Or?
I got nothing. Wait, I need something. I don't know. I can literally. Is it? I don't know. Ace Ventura.
No. Okay. Right, Jim.
Well, that's my guess wrong as well then, because I said Ace Ventura: Rhino Birth.
Did you? Really? Running back. That iconic scene.
God.
I can't believe that's what you had. I totally just pulled.
I thought it was him crawling out the rhino.
Great scene, by the way.
Great scene. It is the scene where Woody opens Buzz Lightyear's helmet.
The teeth, makes a bit more sense now. It's like toys and stuff.
Well, do you know what, gentlemen? You've let yourselves down there. But with 2 each...
I don't. Hang on.
So weird that we both said Ace.
Weirdly, you both went Ace Ventura, yeah.
I don't think we've let ourselves down. We got 2 right.
Yeah, all right. So
which is better than, most of last time.
That is 1 point each for the series so far.
A nice way to start it before I pull away.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see if anyone does better.
Nice.
Well, there you are. That was Audio Aperitif.
Audio Aperitif.
Thank you for listening to us review and Castorol Apocalypse Now. If you want to get in touch and probably tell me how mental I am, you can via email castorolpod@gmail.com or over on our socials. We are on X at castorolpod. We can also be found over on Blue Sky. The link is just too long, so just search Castorol.
Maybe for Patreon, this should be one where we let Jim do a solo review of Apocalypse Now.
That would be mental. Just like, they're on a boat and then fucking there's trees. That's it. Like. And then fucking that bald guy's not even in it. The end.
I've cut him.
Yeah, I've cut it.
Fuck
it. More of the helicopters. Why didn't they take helicopter all the way to him?
Good shout, actually.
Like the Eagles in Lord of the Rings. Why didn't the Eagles? Because the Eagles couldn't get... Right, carry on.
Sorry, we interrupted your flow.
You're in...
Tell us about the pastry on.
Fucking... You just completely ruin the flow of the outro and then you go... Pastry on.
More importantly, tell us where people can get some of that sweet, sweet merch. Because you are looking...
Sweet.
I mean, good, aren't I?
James,
So yeah,
I said... You look amazing, sound like a mental patient.
as I said, contact us, casserollepod@gmail.com. Find us on socials at casserollepod. If you want to support us, patreon.com/casserollepodcast, where for the small fee of $1, you can tip us each month for serving you up 2 very delicious meals. And of course, head to tpublic.com, search Casserole, and you too can also look as awesome as I do. And if you keep your eyes peeled on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you may have some lovely little animations coming your way very, very soon.
When are they?
No,
dropping? Because
they'll be out by now.
In fact, you're right.
The first one.
one.
Go now.
Is it out now? Is it?
Go now.
Drop everything. Go.
Well, it'll be out by the time they hear this.
You're right. Go now.
The wonders of scheduling.
Yeah, you're right. Go now. They're there. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. They're there. Go.
Yeah. Just search Casserole and all that stuff.
You ever wanted to get a feel? This is currently as close as you can get to being in the room with us.
It's as close as you'd want to be.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost as good as being able to smell the room.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
It smells like napalm.
if that's what napalm smells
Like a bonfire.
I'd rather smell like napalm than, Jim's fart, which is what it mostly smells like.
I mean, I've been a good boy today.
You farted.
I have not farted.
You did.
I haven't.
You so did.
I have not once
Earlier
farted.
on, while I was talking, I heard a little come from over there.
Not me.
I think that was like a weird throat burp thing that I caught in the corner of my
All
mouth.
burps are throat burps.
No, I've not. There's
Yeah, but like a throat fart,
there's
I
not been a
guess.
burp out of my bottom today. Anyway, I've been Jim. Goodbye.
I've been Nick. Goodbye.
And I've been Sam. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Sorry, was Batman in this film?
I'm Batman. Rachel!
That'd have been a better film.
Rachel!
Movie Casserole.